Hi. So I wanted to do a reading specifically on Facebook. I found some of the information about not Facebook itself, but when it was created. Anyways, the point is this is about Facebook. So something that's been kind of um, wondering, like myself, even in terms of like I keep wondering about these things because I'm like, and I know that it's gonna sound like I'm like it's like, oh, he's never wrong, or like you gotta know what I'm saying, or yada yada, and all that stuff. Because I, I've been known to, or not known to, I've seen myself make mistakes when I'm reading things. So, anyways, welcome to my channel. Hi, my name is Jose. I'm a microastrologer. I do a lot of things with asteroids. I work with over 180 of them, done my own research on. Okay, so I wanted to go straight into the whole thing. Um, so Facebook. Okay. What I noticed is that looking at the chart on Facebook, I didn't get the actual like date and time when it was officially created, but I wanted to see what was going on with the automation, so automation with the technology itself, like what the hell's going on kind of thing. And it's weird what's going on, but at the same time, I thought, am I missing something here? So there are some ads that have popped up recently, and I thought, okay. And then just looking at it, and then you click on it, and all of a sudden it apparently sends, or if you click on something, it does an automatic sending of questions to the person, like to the people who own that business or whatever it is. And it's like, I don't remember sending that. So I could be mistaken, but I just wanted to, I don't know, it's, with with Pluto in Aquarius. Aquarius is tied to Uranus and Saturn. Um, and right now Saturn is in conjunct with um Neptune. So it's in the sign of Aries. So what's happening there is a dissolution of things. So that's happening with society as well. A dissolution of things, a recreation of something. So it's kind of like imagine like washing away and then being replaced by something new. It literally is something new. But that also means that with Uranus being right now, I believe it's still, where is it right now? Uranus has pulled back. It's still in Taurus, and it's in the anaretic degree of Taurus. That means that there's going to be a lot of old systems trying to, since systems that have been built, that includes, what do you call this? Entertainment industries, food, anything pleasurable, money, finance, and all that stuff. People are rushing to get towards that. And so with that placement, it's affecting how society is behaving today. And it's just like, okay, I can see why that's happening. And in fact, there's a square to Pluto and Uranus right now. So that means that this is all this crazy stuff that we're experiencing. It's like crazy. Okay. This is a sign that, maybe people might be getting lost as well because there's one thing to be stable and another thing to be unstable. There's two sides happening here. I see myself kind of getting affected by that because I'm like, I'm pretty sure I didn't click on the question. So I wanted to share the chart. See what I see here. I already have Moon in Aquarius, so I understand that sort of eccentric energy. If people are not used to eccentricity, this is what it looks like. Kind of partially what it looks like. So let me see here. Okay, so here we have Adonis originally in the Scorpio, 26 degrees of Scorpio. Um, I believe that has a Dwad of, what is that one? Of Virgo. So that means the little technical things, minute sort of things that are concerned with Adonis. Adonis here, I wanted to specifically focus on non-consensual things. So Adonis, Rhiannon, a bunch of things, except for, I would say Athanasia here is what I'm looking at. If you can see that, is actually tied to AI. Oh, where are you right here? It's conjunct AI. See right there. I did not, I don't remember. Oh, I did set it to be gray. Okay, I did set it to be gray one time. Now I remember. Okay. I'm also kind of things going, sometimes I don't remember things. So, but anyways, I was wondering about that myself because I'm just like, did I click on it? I'm pretty sure I didn't click on those questions, but if I did, it's probably affecting me differently. The whole craziness that's going on right now. So we have the sun conjunct the North Node right now. It's actually the sun is conjunct. It's kind of far off, but it still would say conjunct right here to Athanasia. So governments are there's something about leaders, but it's in Pisces. So what that means is with the North Node also being in Pisces here, there's a sort of a kind of an unknown thing, mysteries happening. There's a lot of things that we're headed towards, things that are ahead of us that are unknown. This is a collective North Node, so that means it's not individual, obviously. Okay, so we have this Uranus right here. It's actually sextile to Helio. So I would say when it comes to non-consensual, like without permission, um, this would say that people would have to be more attentive towards that. That if Facebook is doing certain things or if the system is doing certain things, we have to be more like, be careful about what you click on, right? Helio here is in the sign of Capricorn, so that means you have to take your time, be observant, really find it, but you learn from the wisdom, you learn from the experience, you learn from the lessons, right? Uh, this trine to Saturn right here is showing me right here that there's kind of an unusual behavior too, especially with homes like private places, um, places where there's sort of systems already in place, traditions. It kind of, in a way, has built its own structure. Is it even? Okay, let's see, 7 degrees. I'm wondering where the transits. Again, people have to pay attention to that. Faith on here is non-consensual and consensuality. Okay, it's actually, I would say, squaring and this right here is squaring Mars. So there could be like sort of violations to borders, sort of boundaries rather, violations of boundaries. Um, and then it's actually sextile to Saturn right here. So showing me that initiative can be taken instead of being reactive, be more proactive. Because maybe boundaries, especially in Cancer here with the Taurus placement here, it's have to be more conscious about again what we click on. And I'm learning that myself today. We have though, what is that one there? More somnus right here. More somnus is also non-consensuality. It's conjunct right on Cassandra. That totally makes sense why that is the case with Facebook here, right here. Okay. Showing that there's a tendency for it's actually square right here. These two more somnus Phaeton, these more somnus is a dwarf planet. It's square Saturn right here. So there's sort of unusual non-consensual thing that's going on. Things that are probably, that we probably didn't realize were there. Okay. Um, had I not looked at these asteroids and this dwarf planet right here, I would probably not have seen that. I would have just seen, oh, it's trying to, it's great, it's technological and all that stuff. But with these asteroids here, I'm seeing that there's like hidden things that we didn't know about. I wouldn't say necessarily that it's hidden per se. I don't think that was really the intention, giving them the benefit of the doubt, but at the same time, it's there. Okay. Um, The fact that it's Facebook's south node is in Scorpio means that there's this tendency to control. There's a sort of a complexity about Facebook, and it's head towards simplicity. Its goal is to head towards simplicity. But with the south node there, if there is, yeah, right here, 16 degrees to Rhiannon and the sun right here, that to me shows that there is issues about consent, especially with the people. This is Aquarius right here. This is the big one right here. Okay. So there could be sort of violations of privacy, violations of kind of many things. I'm not saying that that's their intention again. And they're just trying here to Jupiter. They're all about kind of making private businesses private. I know it sounds a little like I'm biased about it, but it is sounding like that, but that's not my intention. And my intention is just to kind of research what's going on here. We also have Rhiannon's, the sun right here, I believe. Neptune is right there. So that means that there's kind of confusing things about uncertain things. It's kind of like, huh, what's going on here with their intentions? Okay. Um, or no, I wouldn't say necessarily intentions. It's more like kind of, it's just weird. It's just unknown. There's a lot of mystery behind it. But it is square north node. So that means that instead of heading towards simplicity, there's still challenges that Facebook goes through that is tied to um, that whole thing. But it's also tied to boundaries and power and trusting, who to, in terms of like, can we trust this whole system, right? I mean, I'm not saying that you can or cannot trust it. I'm saying it's weird, right? When Facebook was created, you have the Neptune there, so it's a very weird system. Okay. It can be also considered transcendent. You have the Pluto here actually conjunct Neptune right here. So now, if Facebook as an entity doesn't change with the decorruptive tendencies or representation of Pluto, what'll happen is it'll be corrupt. I'm not saying it will be, I'm just saying that's what Pluto is. Pluto reveals the corruption, right? So I would say when Pluto heads towards 21 degrees Aquarius right here, which I'm going to take a look at. I don't think it's this year though. When does Pluto go into 21 degrees? Let's go to 2020. Go to 2032. It's not even there. So it's going to be quite a while. If Facebook does go into, it's not going to be in the near future. It's going to be, Pluto's going to be conjunct that. It's going to be questioning the whole system itself. Okay, so those who are in charge of Facebook, those are in charge of, oh, 15. Oh, it's actually, sorry, 15 degrees. Okay, so even 2032, let's look at 2033. I'll take a look here. Yeah, it's going to be conjunct the sun, pretty conjunct the sun already by, let's see, I think 2030. So it's 15 minus 8, 7 degrees. So even before 2030, it's coming up. I don't know exactly when. I'm not going to look into that one right now. Actually, you know what? I'm going to. I'm asleep. I don't care. Okay. So come February 2028, February 4, that's actually very interesting because that will be its anniversary date. Huh. Pluto will be in conjunct to its sun. Okay, so February 4, 2028 is when Pluto will be conjunct to that right here. Actually, right here is the sun. Okay, so um, there's a bunch of things happening here as well. 8 degrees Hephaestus is AI as well. So there's a sort of adjustment of how its system's working. Let's see, what degree is that in? 8 degrees. So building on itself, I would say, because it'll have a word of Taurus in there. What that signifies for me is that how this AI was built um, took a while to get there. But it has its unusualness again because you have Saturn retrograde here. Okay, it's I don't know, like it's weird. Um, yeah, it's just unusual the way it is. It's not very. It has its own structure, let's just say. But at the same time, not necessarily weird in a way that's it's. But I found it kind of weird because I felt very triggered, to be honest with you. It was like I did not click on that. I did not click on that question. What? So I don't know what it is. It's also been acting weird, and AI is kind of weird everywhere right now. So it's all totally fine. It's just how it is. We're adjusting to any system, right? So, what else do we have here? Thora, consent is also more non-consent stuff. Thora's been here. And people probably have been kind of getting upset about it. Let's try Mars, or rather the initiative towards that whole thing when it comes to consent or non-consent. I'm not saying again, I'm trying not to label them in any way like that. I'm just saying for me it was just kind of like what's going on here with all these ads and all that stuff, right? So there's no so because the sun is in Aquarius here, it's showing me that it's the way Facebook is being a sort of a system, like a symbol for some sort of like a leading edge sort of technology or platform. It's not really out there. It is for the people because it is in Aquarius, but because it's not in Leo, it's not in 21 degrees Leo here. There's like a shadow behind it where it's not really shining in its own way. It's kind of again that makes it really weird. Like the way the sun behaves, the way the sun in the system, the way its creative I guess you can say function is not necessarily at full, you know. And you have Athanasia here, actually opposite of the sun here. And Athanasia here is retrograde. So retrograde in this case means that there is a pull and focus towards mm, creating, recreating a more creative, more intuitive sort of maybe AI, but it's retrograde, so there's uncertainty behind it. And they need to integrate that whole thing and learn from the process, especially those who are in charge of the whole system. Yeah, this one stood out for me. This Adonis to the moon. It means that how people relate to the system is kind of like, huh? I don't know. There's kind of confusion behind it. Um, 25 degrees moon here. Again, yeah, it it takes a while, I suppose, for people to sense what it's like, to sense how to use it. But because of its trine to Adonis, it's almost like, and it's in Scorpio, so it's almost like people might naturally kind of question, right? And but it's a form of you could say place of entertainment. It's in Venus, so but again, you're not sure. There's a kind of I guess you can say that it is a form of entertainment. It's fun, but it's in Pisces, so it's almost like um there's a certain structure to it. The dwad of it is Cancer right here in 25 degrees. Um, it's very, I don't know if there's anything spiritual about it, but this is Pisces. But there's a lot of maybe changes that will often happen with this, which can naturally confuse people and be like, then people kind of get on guard because they're like violation of privacy, violation, it's in Scorpio, but people have to learn how to naturally navigate through the system and understand that it's like, even though that's the way it is, it's a system. You don't have to necessarily, not decide. They can choose whatever they want to choose, right? There is, right? So yeah. But again, it is for the people. I was just kind of confused about the whole thing about like consent. So there's a lot of questions about it. Um, oh, okay. So there's kind of weird stuff going on here with the way it communicates and how it sends information. It's opposite of the moon, so that means that it's people kind of wonder about its safety, security. There's kind of woundings about how secure it's going to be for the people. But when people integrate that and realize that it's like, oh, it's still learning from itself. It's still learning of itself. It's still learning how to work with it. Then that's totally fine. Yeah, right here, there's a lot of stuff regarding consent. Um, Also consent right here. Okay, Cassandra is actually transiting its Mars. So there might be sort of things that are new, the things that have been happening that are quite new have been intensifying, and people are kind of just like, what's going on here? Plus, Mars rules Aries, so that means that people are kind of choosing their boundaries and kind of like there's, yeah. But in this case, it could also be that Facebook is kind of keeping its own boundaries itself. So. I think that's about it. I just wanted to like take a look at that. I don't know if you have any questions, comments down below. Again, welcome to my channel for those who are new. If you're not, if you're seeing this for the first time, great. Thank you. I hope that helps. I just wanted to look into that. And then what will happen from now on, if I do get into like trouble, we all die anyways, and might as well have fun with it. I just wanted to have fun with the whole process. So bye.